Gentlemen, I need to have an honest conversation with you today. Not the kind you get during a 7-minute doctor's appointment where someone hands you a pamphlet and sends you home. A real conversation. Because in my 12 years as a urologist, working with thousands of men over 50, I have watched the same pattern repeat itself over and over again. Men who were strong, capable, vital in their 40s, walking into my office in their late 50s and 60s looking defeated, exhausted, confused about what happened to them. And almost every single time, it wasn't one dramatic event that brought them down. It was 10 quiet habits, 10 things they were doing or not doing every single day that were slowly, silently dismantling their health from the inside out. Today, I'm going to name all 10. And I promise you, at least 3 of these are going to surprise you. I'm Dr. Jocelyn Carter, a urologist with 12 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality, strength, and confidence. I've worked with thousands of men who thought their best days were behind them, men who made a few targeted changes and discovered that the version of themselves they missed was never actually gone. It was just being suppressed. Before we go through all 10, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. It genuinely helps this information reach more men who need it. Now, let's get into it. Number 1, you are not sleeping enough and you are treating that like a badge of honor. There is a deeply ingrained idea in the culture of men over 50 that getting by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep means you're tough, productive, disciplined. I need you to hear me clearly. That belief is destroying your hormones. Here is the biology. The vast majority of your daily testosterone is produced during deep sleep, specifically during the slow wave and REM cycles that occur in the later hours of the night. When you cut sleep short, you cut testosterone production short. Studies show that men who sleep 5 hours a night have testosterone levels equivalent to men 10 years older than them. 10 years, just from sleep deprivation. Beyond testosterone, poor sleep keeps cortisol elevated throughout the day. And sustained high cortisol doesn't just make you irritable. It actively converts testosterone into estrogen through a process called aromatization, promotes abdominal fat accumulation, raises blood pressure, and impairs cognitive function. Your sleep is not a lifestyle preference. For a man over 50, it is the single most powerful hormonal intervention available to you, and it is completely free. 7 to 8 hours is not laziness, it is medicine. Number 2, you are chronically dehydrated and you don't know it. Most men over 50 walk around in a state of mild chronic dehydration because the thirst mechanism weakens with age. You genuinely stop feeling as thirsty as you used to, but your kidneys, your prostate, your joints, your cardiovascular system, and your brain all still require the same amount of hydration they always did. Dehydration concentrates the urine, which irritates the bladder and worsens urinary symptoms. It reduces blood volume, which forces your heart to work harder. It impairs testosterone transport and cellular function throughout the body. The fix could not be simpler. Start every morning with a full glass of water before coffee, before checking your phone, before anything else. Carry a stainless bottle. Aim for half your body weight in ounces per day as a baseline. This one shift alone will change how you feel within a week. Number 3, your diet is inflammatory, and inflammation is aging you faster than your birth date. I had a patient named Gerald, 61, who came to me for urinary issues, but mentioned in passing that he had been exhausted for 3 years, that his joints ached every morning, that he felt mentally foggy by early afternoon. He was not clinically ill by standard markers, but his diet was built almost entirely on processed foods, refined carbohydrates, industrial seed oils, and very little whole food. What Gerald had was systemic, chronic, low-grade inflammation. And inflammation, gentlemen, is the common root of almost every disease that kills men after 50. Cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, cognitive decline, and yes, prostate enlargement. Inflammatory foods spike insulin, promote aromatization of testosterone into estrogen, damage the lining of blood vessels, and impair mitochondrial function in every cell of your body. Gerald changed 3 things. He eliminated seed oils, dramatically reduced refined sugar, and added anti-inflammatory foods: fatty fish, olive oil, leafy greens, berries, Turmeric. 4 months later, he came back and said, "I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like myself again." That's not a miracle. That's biology responding to better inputs. Number 4, you have stopped lifting and your muscle mass is disappearing faster than you realize. After age 50, men lose between 1 and 2% of their muscle mass per year in a process called sarcopenia, if they do nothing to stop it. This is not just a cosmetic issue. Muscle is a metabolically active tissue that regulates glucose, supports testosterone production, maintains bone density, and protects your joints and spine. Men who lose significant muscle mass after 50 face dramatically higher risks of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, falls, fractures, and early mortality. Here's what most men don't know. Muscle tissue also contains the primary site of testosterone metabolism in the body. More muscle means better testosterone utilization. Less muscle means more testosterone converts to estrogen and gets stored in fat tissue. Resistance training, even 2 to 3 sessions per week of basic compound movements, is one of the most powerful things you can do for your hormonal health after 50. You do not need a gym membership or a complicated program. Bodyweight squats, push-ups, rows, and hip hinges done consistently will protect and rebuild what time is taking from you. Number 5, you are drinking alcohol daily and your liver is paying the price your prostate can't afford. I want to be respectful here because I know for many men, an evening drink is a genuine ritual of relaxation and connection. I'm not asking you to eliminate it entirely. I am asking you to understand what it does to your hormonal environment. When your liver is processing alcohol, it deprioritizes estrogen clearance. Estrogen accumulates in your bloodstream. Elevated estrogen in men over 50 directly stimulates prostate tissue growth, promotes fat accumulation around the abdomen, suppresses testosterone, and contributes to emotional flatness and low drive. Even 2 to 3 drinks per night, every night, is enough to meaningfully impair your liver's hormone-clearing function. And here's the layer most men miss. Number 6 on this list connects directly to this one, and together they create a cycle that is very hard to break. Number 6, you are using alcohol, screens, or food to cope with stress instead of processing it, and your cortisol is running your body into the ground. Chronic psychological stress is one of the most underappreciated destroyers of male health after 50. Not because stress itself is unusual. Life after 50 brings real pressures, real losses, real uncertainty, but because most men have no outlet for it beyond suppression or sedation. They drink more, they scroll more, they eat more, and every one of those responses keeps cortisol elevated, which keeps testosterone suppressed, which keeps inflammation high, which keeps the cycle going. The biological solution is not complicated, but it requires you to take it seriously. Physical movement is the most evidence-backed cortisol regulator we have. Even a 20-minute walk outdoors daily will meaningfully lower your cortisol over time. Social connection with other men, real conversation, not just side-by-side silence, has a direct hormonal benefit. Breathing practices, even simple box breathing done for 5 minutes before bed, activate your parasympathetic nervous system and put the brakes on your stress response. These are not soft interventions. They are direct hormonal medicine. Number 7, you are ignoring your blood sugar, and insulin resistance is silently rewriting your metabolism. Insulin resistance affects the majority of men over 50, and most of them have no idea. It doesn't always show up as diabetes. It shows up as belly fat that won't budge no matter how little you eat. It shows up as energy crashes after meals. It shows up as brain fog, poor sleep, and the slow accumulation of every chronic disease risk factor simultaneously. Because when your cells stop responding to insulin efficiently, your pancreas compensates by producing more. Chronically high insulin promotes fat storage, drives aromatization of testosterone to estrogen, stimulates prostate cell growth through IGF-1, and accelerates systemic inflammation. The practical response has 3 components. First, reduce refined carbohydrates. Not all carbohydrates, but the fast-digesting, fiber-stripped ones found in white bread, pastries, sweetened drinks, and processed snack foods. Second, add a 10-minute walk after your largest meal. Post-meal walking is one of the most effective blood sugar management tools we have, and almost no one does it. Third, consider getting a fasting insulin test at your next physical. Most doctors don't order it routinely, but it will tell you more about your metabolic health than a standard fasting glucose test. Number 8. You have stopped being curious and your brain is aging faster because of it. This one surprises men. They come to a urologist and don't expect to hear about cognitive health. But gentlemen, your brain is a hormonal organ. It is exquisitely sensitive to testosterone, to estrogen, to cortisol, to insulin, to every metabolic signal we've discussed. And beyond hormones, cognitive engagement is neurologically protective in a way that nothing else fully replaces. Men who retire from mentally demanding work and replace it with purely passive activities, television, routine tasks, passive consumption, show measurable acceleration in cognitive decline compared to men who stay intellectually engaged. Learning a new skill, playing a strategic game, reading challenging material, having substantive conversations, pursuing a craft. These activities stimulate neurogenesis and maintain the neural density that protects against cognitive decline. Your brain is not a fixed organ. It is a living tissue that responds to use, and it deteriorates from disuse. Stay curious, stay engaged, not for abstract reasons, for the same reason you would exercise a muscle you want to keep. Number 9. You are avoiding your doctor, and the things that are easiest to fix early become crises when ignored. I understand why men avoid doctors. It often doesn't feel like a welcoming or empowering experience, but I want to reframe it for you. A PSA test, a testosterone panel, a metabolic blood panel, a cardiovascular risk assessment, these are not things you do when something is wrong. They are the navigational tools that tell you where you are, so you can make intelligent decisions about where you're going. Prostate cancer caught early has a survival rate above 97%. Cardiovascular disease flagged in its early stages is eminently manageable. Testosterone deficiency identified and addressed can transform a man's quality of life in months. The men who struggle most in their 60s and 70s are overwhelmingly the men who avoided medical engagement in their 50s. Make the appointment. Ask for the full panel. Be honest with your doctor. Your vitality depends on information. Number 10, and this is the one that quietly underlies every other item on this list. You have accepted decline as inevitable, and that acceptance is the most dangerous thing of all. Thomas came to me at 67. He had gained 35 pounds in 5 years. His testosterone was in the basement. His sleep was fragmented. His marriage was strained, and he had stopped doing almost everything he used to love. He sat across from me and said, "I figured this is just what happens." And I looked at him and said, "No, it isn't." 3 months later, after addressing 6 of the 10 things we've discussed today, he came back transformed. Not because of a single pill or a single procedure, because he stopped accepting a story about himself that was never true. Decline is not inevitable. Deterioration is not destiny. The human body, your body, has a remarkable capacity to restore itself when you give it what it needs and stop giving it what it doesn't. Here is your simple action plan. Step 1. This week, choose 2 items from this list and address them directly, not all 10. 2. Sleep and hydration are the easiest places to start, and they create momentum for everything else. Step 2. Schedule 1 medical appointment in the next 30 days and ask for a full hormonal and metabolic panel. Step 3. Do 10 minutes of resistance exercise today, not tomorrow, today. If you've been frustrated, if you felt like your body has betrayed you, if you've been carrying the quiet embarrassment of feeling less than you used to be, you are not broken. Your body has been responding logically to the inputs it has been given. Change the inputs. Change the response. It is that direct, and it is never too late. Like this video, comment below with the one habit you're committing to change first. I will personally read every single response. Share this with a man in your life who needs to hear it. And subscribe for weekly strategies designed specifically for men who refuse to accept less than their best. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, reminding you that after 50, vitality isn't lost. It's waiting to be awakened. Take care, gentlemen, and I'll see you in the next one.